Have you ever just assumed that if an AI can predict who's going to win a game, it must also know how to win it? It's a super common mistake, and well, it turns out that's not really how it works at all.
So let's dig into that idea, because understanding this difference is honestly the key to grasping how an AI actually plans out its strategy.
You got to keep this distinction in your head. Knowing the likely final score of a game is totally different from knowing the exact sequence of moves to get there. An AI can be a genius at one, and believe it or not, a complete rookie at the other.
To put it really simply, knowing the score is not the same as having a strategy. It's kind of like the difference between being a great sports commentator who can call the game perfectly and being the star athlete on the field actually making the plays. Okay, so if an AI can't just map out every single winning move right from the start, how in the world does it plan ahead? How does it even begin to think about a strategy?
Well, it really helps to think of it like a weather forecaster. A forecaster can't literally see into the future, right? But what they are incredibly good at is reading the conditions right here, right now.
A forecaster looks at the current wind, the pressure, the clouds forming, and from that, they predict the chance of a storm later in the week. The AI is doing the exact same thing, just with its own set of data points.
And this is the AI's core trick. From wherever it is right now, it makes an educated guess about the most likely final outcome. And that guess is what lets it prepare for whatever might be coming next.
Now here's the really important part. The AI doesn't just make one big prediction and then call it a day. No, it updates its forecast after every single move. It's constantly reevaluating and learning as the game, or whatever task it's doing, unfolds.
So this ability, this knack for predicting future rewards based on its current situation, that's what we can call the AI's internal scorecard. It's the system it uses to judge how well things are going at any given moment.
All right, let's make this a little less abstract. To see how this internal scorecard really works in a real-world scenario, let's just take a quick look at the world of finance. So, imagine an AI is managing a retirement fund for you. When you drop in a $100 deposit, the AI doesn't just see $100. That would be thinking way too short-term. Instead, it's already calculating the potential value of that money 30 years from now, factoring in interest and market growth. It sees the action in the present and immediately scores its long-term future consequence.
See, that's the internal scorecard in action. It's totally focused on the long-term gain, which lets the AI decide if saving that $100 is a better move for the future than, say, spending it today.
And understanding this whole idea of an internal scorecard, it actually helps clear up a really common point of confusion that people have when they're using AI tools. Think about it like this. An AI can play two very different roles. We often ask it to be a creator, write an email for us or generate a picture. But sometimes its real strength is as a judge.
Generating stuff and evaluating that stuff are two completely separate skills. An AI can have a brilliant internal scorecard for judging quality, but at the same time have a terrible strategy for actually creating that high-quality content itself.
What this means is that an AI tool can be like a world-class editor, someone who can spot a bad sentence the second they see one, without being a great writer who can whip up a masterpiece from a blank page. So, if you ever get a bad result from an AI, remember this difference. Its internal scorecard for judging a good outcome might be totally perfect, but its strategy for creating that outcome is what's broken. They just aren't the same skill. Okay, so we've built up the main idea behind this. Now I think it's time we learn the official term for it. So what do the engineers and researchers who actually build these systems call this internal scorecard for predicting future success?
They call it the value function. Yep, that's it. It's the technical name for that internal scorecard an AI uses to check out its current position and plan its next move, all based on predicting long-term success.
And look, understanding the value function isn't just theory. It gives you a real, practical edge anytime you're working with an AI tool.
Let's break down 3 key things for your toolkit. First, remember the AI scorecard is all about prediction, not executing a perfect plan. It's a commentator, not a player. Second, this is what lets the AI think long-term. It isn't just reacting to what's happening now. It's always calculating future value. And third, remember the difference between a judge and a creator. The best tool for evaluating work might not be the best one for creating it from scratch. So we know this internal scorecard is constantly updating after every single step. But that brings up a really fascinating question. How does an AI actually learn from its own predictions while a task is still going on? We're going to explore that exact question in our next explainer.